All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to my periscope. This is Dallas, those of you who don't know. This is our makeshift campfire here in Reset Student Ministries. Last week, we had a really cool meeting here in Reset, and we had this series that we started called Campfire Stories. Hey, thanks. I'm glad it looks good. I don't know who Dad Rocks is, but thank you. Oh, it's David Hockaday. Hey, man. So what's up, brother? But yeah, we had this really cool meeting last week, and we blacked out the room. We had the campfire going, and we had our disco ball light up there that was on, and it looked like there were stars in the room. It really looked like we were kind of outside. It was a really cool time, and we told funny stories. Had all the students tell jokes. Got to tell you, my favorite joke was this. It came from a student named Hunter, and he goes, "What do you call it when Batman leaves the church?" And of course, the answer was Christian Bale. I loved it. It was really funny. So, anyways, we told a couple stories, and I told a story about this one parent, and and this is a true story to my understanding. They're at church, and there's this little kid. He's probably about 3 years old, and it was just being wild and crazy. And it was in one of those old school churches where, like, there's one way into the sanctuary, and that was the big double doors in the back of the room. And this parent was sitting towards the front with their kid. And whenever the kid was acting up, they're trying to get onto the kid. So, hey, stop it. So finally the mom looks down and says, "Hey, if you don't stop this, I'm going to take you outside and I'm going to spank you." So the kid is, just kind of pauses for a second. All of a sudden, has a little freak out, grabs the wig of the lady in front and pulls it off. And everybody's freaking out, right? And so the mom, mortified, grabs the child, throws the child over her shoulder, walks out into the middle aisle and starts walking down the lane to the back of the church. And all of a sudden, the little kid screams out, "Church, pray!" So that was a funny story. And then later I told a story. It's one of my favorite stories that I think is just funny from the Bible. And it's in the book of Acts, and you have Peter, and he's been arrested, and he falls asleep. So all of a sudden, this angel wakes him up. And he's like, "Hey, get up, get dressed, time to go." And Peter is so disoriented from sleeping, he doesn't even realize this is a real event. He thinks he's dreaming still. And the angel carries him out of he doesn't carry him, but he leads him out of the building. And it's not until they get outside and the cold air hits him and goes, "Oh, wow, I'm outside." So he goes to this church house. Well, I say church house. It's the meeting place where a bunch of Christians were together, and they were praying. They were praying for God to release Peter from prison and all sort of stuff. And there's this one kid, this one little girl named Deborah, and she's praying. All of a sudden, she hears from the front door the voice of Peter. So she goes to answer the knock, and she recognizes a voice, and she's so excited. And as I'm reading this, I can't help but she's excited because she's hearing the voice of Peter, someone that she's been praying for. And so she's excited because God has heard her prayers. So she's so excited. She runs back. She tells the group, "Hey, Peter's outside." Everybody's like, "No, dear. We're praying for Peter to get out of jail. He's not here." And so she keeps insisting and insisting. So finally, somebody goes to check the door like, "Oh, wow, Peter's here." So the point of last week was we're talking about how prayer changes things. It really does. And we, as Christians, need to have the faith of that little girl and that kid who's being carried out to be spanked. They knew that prayer was going to change the world for them. And we need to have that same faith. And the reason why we're calling this Campfire Stories is because it's real easy to sit around a campfire and tell stories. I don't know what it is about people chilling around a campfire. All of a sudden, everybody has a story. And what I'm trying to get across to the students is there are stories they can tell. There are funny stories they could tell that are, they may not be religious necessarily, but they're funny stories, but there is a spiritual application to it. And how easy was it for me to take those two stories, that funny story about the little kid that was about to get spanked, and this really funny story from the book of Acts, and these and take it and go, look what the power of prayer is, and look how important it is for us to have faith in God, how important it is for us to pray and see God move. So that was last week. So this week we're going to continue talking We're doing Campfire Stories, and today we're talking about stories of healing. And I've asked the students to, hey, bring a story about a healing that you saw. Like if you were in a prayer meeting and somebody got healed, or you prayed for somebody and you found out later they got healed. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be talking about healing, and I've got a couple of really cool stories. I got a story that's coming from Ash Grove, Missouri, at the church I got saved at. And there's a really cool story about healing that just happened recently. And I'm also going to talk about a story in scriptures from Acts 28. So it's going to be a great night. I want to encourage everybody to be here for Reset Student Ministries. All you Reset students who are watching this later, give me some hearts. If you replay this later, give me some hearts so I know who's watching this and whatnot. I love you guys all, and I cannot wait to see everybody tonight at THP. One last thing, the very awesome, very cool Jill Stripling will be speaking tonight in the sanctuary. I want to encourage y'all to be here for that, all you adults, because Jill is amazing, and she will always bring a great word, and that she's prayed over and she's sought the Lord about. So there you go, guys. See you guys later.